Hi, this is Kaan. ESO Gold Road is announced. So time for another look at the story and setting for ESO this year, and especially the dungeon DLC which is coming in March, Scions of Ithelia. They skipped over this DLC pretty fast in the reveal, but there was a lot of detail hiding in the margins which I bet most people missed. Even I didn't spot it all until I went back and re-watched it. But before we get to that, I already did a video last week speculating wildly about what might be coming this year based on the hints and teasers we got. Let's not talk about how smart I was to spend ages making a video with a shelf life of 1 week. Let's just start by seeing what we got right. Continuity with Necrom was a given, but before the reveal we knew nothing about Ithelia besides the name. Now we've seen a bit more, the Oblivion sigils, this gold framing and crescent motif make more sense, probably symbolizing the strands of fate and her power to rearrange them. And that pattern in the middle that seemed to evoke Meridia or Thoat, well, it was neither. Maybe the latter indirectly. We now know Ithelia's plane of Oblivion is Miramor, and that's where these crystalline shard-born Daedra are from, so that's what it represents. Although it is odd how perfectly Meridia's symbol maps onto it. As for why Thoat looks exactly like this, one simple explanation is that Zos needed a strong look for the Archive end boss, and they had this super cool crystalline thing they'd been working on. But I hope there is a deeper connection, because Thoat is such a mystery, I want to know more. Her assault on the Archive would also make more sense if she's aligned with Ithelia, who doesn't exactly see eye to eye with Hermaeus Mora. We already knew he would be part of this chapter. Leramil is also back. We still don't know what role Mephala might play, but we're told Ithelia was imprisoned by Mora and his jealous and craven siblings. And Mephala is mentioned in the lore as Mora's brother/sister. We'll see. It's clear that the winged Mages Guild symbol refers to scribing, but that damned lamp is still not clear to me at all. My little tangent about the Order of the Lamp and their battle with Manamako does not fit with Gold Road, but it was always a long shot and too cool not to mention. We do know the new trial is a vault in Fargrave called Lucent Citadel. Lucent is shining, as in translucent, so it could be related to that plot point, but we're still just guessing. My assumptions about the Ayleid tree appear to be broadly on track. The new chapter will be chock full of Bosmer and Ayleid ruins, and the Bosmer definitely are up to something. So the speculation in the last video isn't necessarily wrong. Go watch it if you haven't already. Regardless of what's coming in Gold Road, the lore is pretty interesting. The Skingrad connection was bang on, but we already knew that. And as predicted, the tree doesn't refer to Falinesti, but simply to the zone itself and its autumnal colour palette. There was a lot of stuff in this reveal. Maya made a great summary video about this and what it all means for the future of ESO. But Zos were pretty tight-lipped about the story itself. So still plenty to speculate about, and right now I'm most excited about the new dungeons coming in March. And we know they'll form a prologue to the Gold Road story. So, what do we know? Scion, as in descendant, is one of those words you typically find only in medieval texts or in fantasy fiction, and it's what Ithelia's followers call themselves, so we should expect a thorough introduction to these guys. Start with Oathsworn Pit. An orc training ground for followers of Malakath has been raided by wood elves, and the orc faithful have been massacred. I guess their training wasn't that great? From the screenshots we've seen, it's clear that the attacking Bosmer are part of the Recollection, the mysterious group behind part of the trouble around Skingrad, and we see them attacking alongside giant bears and Mire Gaunts, the giant lurchers we've seen before. One awesome detail which hasn't really been commented on, but which I spotted in the reveal, is the NPC in this dungeon. Bazrag from the Hrothgar questline, a really interesting, conflicted and memorable dude, and a big part of what makes that story so good. He appears a couple of times in the reveal footage, being a badass, and this was later confirmed on the ESO website, so it's definitely happening. Malakath is an ally of Mephala in the faction system in TES2 Daggerfall. This list is pretty random, so maybe we shouldn't read too much into it, but it also contains the rivalry between Meridia and Molag Bal, and that between Mora and Vermina, both of which feature heavily in ESO. By the way, a big thanks to UESP for making all this info so easy to find. Anyway, if Mephala is implicated in the imprisonment of Ithelia, that might explain why her followers would target her ally, Malakath. But that's a pretty big if. Just spitballing here. Either way, it looks like we're going to find hints of what the Recollection are up to, and hopefully learn more about Malakath worship among the orcs, which revolves around honor, vengeance, and the keeping of oaths, hence the name of the dungeon. If you remember the orc strongholds in Skyrim, where a single alpha male is supposed to take all the wives and lead the clan, that's a strict version of the Code of Malakath. Never mind that it doesn't make a ton of sense, or that plenty of orcs seem to just ignore it. It will also be cool to learn what Bazrag has been up to since we last saw him. If past DLCs are anything to go by, he will have some unique dialogue for those who've met him before and done the story. So when the dungeon arrives, try to bring a character that's completed that questline. If you haven't done the Hrothgar story yet, now is the perfect time during the Guilds and Glory event. The other dungeon is also a callback from Hrothgar. The Bedum Veil is part of the Maelstrom demi-plane of Oblivion. Yes, the same one as the Maelstrom Arena. But before you all start having panic flashbacks about poisonous plants, freezing water, and bosses that can't be interrupted no matter how many times you click, we're not going to the arena itself. The Bedum Veil is a separate part of the Maelstrom demi-plane, a vault and storeroom, which contains a mysterious relic which cultist invaders are hunting for. We can assume these are the scions of Ithelia, since we can see a couple of hollow armor dudes with that signature Shardborn look, and based on the key artwork, it seems like they might just be searching for the staff we saw in the reveal trailer. Look closer. That's actually the Daedra Fanuit Hen right there. A character who only needed to exist to provide a fictional conceit on which to hang the idea of the Maelstrom Arena, the first solo content in the game. But Zos's writers dug out an obscure reference from the 36 Lessons of Vivec, way back from TES3 Morrowind, which mentioned this demi-prince who was the multiplier of motions known and accompanied by the barons of move like this. That's where this weird and intriguing little fella came from. And his writing and voice acting is so fun that I can't be the only one who's up for hanging out with him again. According to former ESO loremaster Lawrence Schick, Fanuit Hen is associated with Boethia, but that may or may not have anything to do with Ithelia's banishment. Is there a reason why he's got this important artifact stashed in his basement? Maybe Mora was counting on his forgetfulness. Who knows? The place looks very Etherian Archive, which will be a fun kind of environment to revisit as well. Again, double drops in Maelstrom Arena during the Guilds and Glory event, so maybe get in there and reacquaint yourself with the place, the prince, and his posse. Anyway, those are the things I spotted from the reveal. I'm always up for new dungeons, but all these cool little hints really help raise the level of excitement. The official preview stream for this DLC is coming soon, with Mike Finnegan, who's in charge of all encounter design in this game, so check that one out and stay tuned for more Ninja Pulse videos and streams about these new dungeons. I know Maya already has plans to get in there and fool around with the hard modes on Twitch, and maybe do a lore run as well. Dungeon stories are a massively underrated part of this game in my opinion, and fingers crossed these will be just as good as all the other recent ones. Please support the channel if you like what we do, and catch us on Twitch if you enjoy diving into the storytelling as well as the gameplay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.